Hello and welcome to another AQA exam question. So this is taken from the November 2018 paper 3. So it's quite a tricky question actually, this one. As you can see, it's obviously a bit nearer the end of the paper. So it is quite a tricky one. So it says that a motor racing circuit consists of two parallel straight sections, each of length 0.75, and that's indicated here by those two arrows and the measurements. A semicircle, so one semicircle that has a diameter of 0.9 kilometers, as again showed here, and then three equal smaller semicircles. So the fact that they are equal is important. And then it says the length of a motor race must be greater, so larger than 305 kilometers. And it says what is the lowest number of full laps needed at this circuit. So we need to make sure we're going to get at least 305 kilometers here. And it says you've got to show you're working for this. So why not have a go yourself first? So pause your video and see what you get, and then we can go through it together. Okay, so there's quite a lot to unpack here. So I'm going to deal with first the large semicircle. I'm going to deal with that first. So I need to know this edge here, this curved edge. So I need to know this bit. So I'm going to do pi times 0.9 divided by 2. So remember, we've got a semicircle here, so it's not a full circle. So remember, the area, the circumference of a circle is pi times the diameter. So that's what I'm doing here. When I've done pi times 0.9, that would be the full circle. So if we divide that by 2, that will be just the arc length of that semicircle. So that's going to be 1.4 kilometers. Okay, I've just rounded that to one decimal place there for this. Then if we look at the smaller semicircles, now we need to know the diameter of those. So if we do 0.9 divided by 3, that will give us 0.3 kilometers. So that's the diameter of each of those semicircles. So then we can do pi times 0.3 divided by 2. So that's going to give us 0.47, and this is to two decimal places. I've done that there. So we've then got information about all of those semicircles now, so we can get it all together. So we can do 1.4, we can add that to 0.7 times 3, then we can add on our two straight edges then. And that will tell us just one lap. So we've got 0.47 times 3, so I'm going to do that first. So that gives us 1.41. If I add 1.4, that gives me 2.81. Then I've got to add on those two straight edges. So that will give me a total distance around the edge of 4.31, so 4.31 kilometers. And then I've got to add on, what am I doing now? So now I've got to do 4.31 through 305. So remember, the total length has got to be 305 divided by 4.31. And that gives us 70.7. So that's 70.7 kilometers there. Now, 70.7 laps, sorry. So we can't have obviously 0.7 of a lap. We need 71 full laps in order to be able to get the distance required for this race. And here is a fully worked solution from the exam board as well, so they've done it the same way as me. I think they may have done some slightly different rounding maybe on there, because they're slightly less than me, but they've just done the rounding slightly differently, but you will still come out with the same answer.